達成。さすが童貞。
I forgot I left off here. My name is VitaminDStain and welcome back to some more 9. So today was a terrible day. It was like one of the worst days I've had in a while. And when I mean a while, I mean like in a month. I made it though. I'm happy to be here. Here, right here, like in this video right here. Not like life stuff, work stuff. Like no. I mean here right now with this. I'm happy to be there. Looking forward to it. As soon as I got home from work, I went straight to class. Japanese class. Recently, I had been contemplating about studying abroad. And then I was like, you know what? I'm really broke. Things are very expensive. It's going to take a while to have something saved up. Let me just go back to studying with my teacher. I really enjoy it, and she's a really great teacher, and she's very kind. So she helps me feel a little bit better. Her energy really rubs off. And the best way possible, I think. But anyway, if you are new here, please consider subscribing and hitting the like if you haven't already done so. And let's get started. So, going back to the bad date thing, if I am a little more quiet than usual, that's why.
うるせえよ。お前だって少女だろ。
You didn't need to ask, and I don't want to know. I mean, if that was my sister, you know?
そうですよ。お兄ちゃんのために取ってあるの。
Bro! Why did I save it on? It's just so weird.
お前な。
超達成。動揺してる。
してねえよ、アホ。
してるじゃん。ドキドキしてるでしょ。
してない。
私はしてるよ。
No, she's acting. She's just kidding.
わあ、マジか。
There we go. I got it. I'm not falling for it again.
うるせえ。もう寝ろ。
まだ眠くないもん。
俺は眠い。眠くなくても寝ろ。
寝るのが怖い。
約束したろ。起きたらちゃんとおはようってお前に言うよ。いつも通り。
So he says. You know, I recorded the same day that I'm going to upload. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll have enough time today, but usually I upload Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. What was I going with this? I don't even remember why I brought this up. It's a long day. It's been a long day.
心配ないからしっかり眠れ。
Hey, you too.
お兄ちゃん。
Oh yeah, I was going to say. I ended up not recording on the weekend, like I usually do, recently. Anyway.
あ、
大好き。
もう照れないぞ。
今のは冗談じゃないよ。
Soda hugs me from behind again and rests her forehead against me. Aww. We stay like that for a while until finally Soda gets off the bed.
歯磨いてくる。
あ、
Soda walks into the bathroom and closes the door behind. Did I say the door? Closes the door behind her. I love you, Oni-chan. Soda used to say that a dozen times a day when we were kids. It always made me happy, and back then I'd always reply with, and I love you too. But around this time, the time I started middle school, when Soda was close to graduating elementary, I started getting embarrassed, so I told her to knock it off. After that, she started telling me she loved me less and less. Started acting less clingy too. Oh no. Nowadays we banter all the time, always trying to take each other down a peg. We hardly ever say something so sappy to each other. The fact that Soda has started reverting to her younger self, the fact that she's exclusively calling me Oni-chan now, is not a good omen. I have to protect her. As Soda's older brother, I need to support her. That's why I'm here. I reaffirm my resolve. Spent a little while reminiscing about the old days together. In kindergarten and elementary school, Soda was so attached to me that she tried to follow me to my classes. The night before my field trip, she threw a tantrum because she wanted to go with me. The next morning, she sobbed the whole time she was seeing me off. Oh no. It was only around the time she started high school that she stopped being quite so needy, and we built up our new rapport of teasing each other. She blossomed as a person, she opened up more, started smiling and yelling, both around other people. Of course, she's still a little spoiled even now. She's got me wrapped around her little finger. No matter what kind of crazy stunts Soda No matter what kind of crazy stunts Soda pulled, I was always the one mom and dad yelled at. She still got a habit of being quick to apologize and then just as quick to forget what got her into hot water in the first place. Or maybe she just doesn't care. Despite that, it's only with her family that she'll repeat her mistakes. Surprisingly, when she's with her friends, she has her act together. I know, I've seen her out there at sports festivals, cultural festivals, you name it. In elementary and middle school, all of her classmates and friends really relied on her. In fact, I'm honestly kind of amazed how different she is when she's with her friends than when she's with her family. Good. I still remember it all. I haven't forgotten anything. You haven't forgotten anything either, right? 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 I haven't. Let's not forget about Soda. I won't ever let myself forget that I'm Soda's older brother. Imagine the game ends there. That would actually suck. That would actually really, really suck. But no way. May 11th?
もしもし、母さん。
どなたですか？
ほんとそれいいから。かけるだよ。
はい。
かけるです。あなたの息子です。
ああ、はいはい。息子か。
お母さん、you're scaring me.
母さんハマるとしつこいんだよな。悪いけど、今日も学校に連絡してください。
まだ治らないの？ずいぶんと長いわね。
ちょっとね。連絡お願いね。
はいはい。お大事にね。
I just can't fathom how lenient her mom is. So not interrogative, if that's the word. I can't be the only one surprised by this, right? That's today's business taken care of. 3 days of school missed. I shudder to think how behind I'll be on homework when I return, but I'll just have to live with it.
咳か。治ってよかったね。
Wait, so what are we doing today?
ん？ああ、だな。
I curl my right hand to a fist and roll my right ankle around. Hey, you can roll around. When I woke up this morning, the petrification had completely vanished. I can move my fingers, and more importantly, I can finally take my shoe off. I wonder if I'm burning... What? I wonder if my burning desire to protect Soda accelerated the healing process. Interesting theory. I wouldn't be surprised though. Since artifacts are manifestations of a source power or whatever, I suppose that's an actual possibility. I'd be fine to go to school today, but there's no way I'm leaving Soda alone. Hence why I'm calling in sick for a few more days. Until Sophie completes her medicine and frees Soda from her artifact, I'm not leaving her side. Oh, look who's the clingy one now.
なんか学校休んだ日ってちょっとワクワクするね。しかもお兄ちゃんと一緒に悪いことしてる気分。
俺はもう3日目のプロだからな。罪悪感ゼロだ。
すげえ。みやこ先輩に伝えた？治ったって。
ああ、そっか。授業始まる前に伝えとくか。
私の心配もしてくれてるかな。
I was gonna tell her. Nope. She don't even remember you. Probably.
当然だろ。
Oh.
そうだね。
Unless she figured it out herself that she's been forgotten. I couldn't miss that hesitation. Crap, I screwed up. Hey, Kujo's messaged me a bunch of times the past few days about how I've been doing and all that. But the only time she's mentioned Soda is when I brought her up. I'm guessing she hasn't texted Soda directly at all. There's no protecting her from that one, huh? Or more accurately, she's incapable of it. From the looks of it, Kujo can no longer recall Soda unless someone else reminds her of Soda's existence. Her memories are growing hazy as well. Soda obviously picked up on that.
今日どうする？
In an attempt to cover for my blunder, I changed the topic. Soda tilts her head quizzically.
どうするって？
せっかく石化が解除されたから、俺は出かけたい。
出かけるって大丈夫なの？
体は問題ない。
そうじゃなくて、こんな時間にうろついて、私はともかくお兄ちゃんはまずいでしょ。
大丈夫だろ。制服でもない限り。どっか行こうぜ。どこがいい？
どこでもいいの？
近場なら。
近場。あ、カラオケ！
いいな、行くか。
やったー！お兄ちゃんとカラオケ行くの初めてじゃない？
何度もあるだろ。
二人きりは初めてだよ。あ、映画も見ようよ、映
今何やってるっけ？
画！わかんないけど、なんか適当に良さげなやつ。
じゃあ、カラオケと映画のコンボ決めるか。
やったー！お兄ちゃんとデート！
I don't know about that.
デートって。映画の時間とか調べておいてくれ。顔洗ってくる。
わかった！
Sora picks up her phone and starts happily tapping away, but a few seconds later her expression clouds over.
どうした？
パソコン使っていい？映画館のサイトが見にくい。
いいよ。
あざーす。
She throws her phone onto my bed and wakes up my PC. Give her one last sidelong glance before heading to the bathroom. Tell me why that startled me. I turn the faucet and water gushes out of the tap. I can't help fretting about the sudden change of expression in her. But mostly I'm just glad she's happy right now. Hopefully this little sibling outing ends up being fun enough that she can forget about her worries for a while. We wait until classes should have started before leaving the house, then head to the arcade by the station. Personally, I'm worried we might run into a student running late or a teacher on patrol, but it seems there's something else weighing on Sora's mind. She keeps shooting me worried glances while we walk.
ねえ
Excuse
お
me.
兄ちゃん、
ん？
足大丈夫なの？我慢してない？
してない。綺麗さっぱり治った。
よかったね。
Oops.
副作用とか後遺症とかなくて。
本当にな。あと欠けたり折れたりしなくてほんとよかった。ぶつけたりしないようにめっちゃ神経使った。
でも痛くない？
全然。
本当に？まだ指先とか石になってたりしないよね？
大丈夫だって。
見せてよ。
How?
ほら。
Hold out my right hand and split my fingers. She stares at it for a few seconds, then puts her palm on top of mine. Then she intertwines her fingers with mine and squeezes tight.
へへ。
Oh. She beams up at me. This sure is how a boyfriend and girlfriend hold hands. Normally I'd shake her off and throw a few caustic remarks her way, but whatever, it's just holding hands. I don't really mind doing it for her. Great, now I'm more worried about someone seeing me holding hands with my sister than I am about someone finding out I'm skipping school. But I have to keep my embarrassment in check. Letting Sora do what she wants is important.
お兄ちゃんが優しい。いつも優しいといいのにな。
キャンペーン中限定だ。
なんなのそのキャンペーンって。
看病と家事してくれたお礼キャンペーン。期限が過ぎれば元の俺に戻る。
キャンペーンは私が治るまで？
だな、多分。
じゃあ治らなくてもいいな。
冗談でもよせよ。そういうこと言うのは。
だって他の人に忘れられてもお兄ちゃんが覚えててくれればそれでいいし。
Smiling, Sora starts swinging her hand back and forth. No, Sora, no! That didn't sound like a joke to me. Well, if all she wants is to maintain the status quo, that's probably not enough to worsen her symptoms. Or so he says. Well, that's probably not the best mindset to have for the sake of her recovery. It's not the worst. Either.
お兄ちゃん、
When we arrive at the station, Sora tugs on my hand.
どうした？
コンビニ行きたい。
ああ、いいよ。
ここで待ってて。
ああ、わかった。
行ってきまーす。
Sora lets go of my hand and trots over to the convenience store. She turns and waves to me as she pushes open the door, then hurries inside. Now I'm starting to worry again. Why'd she want to go in alone? Why didn't she ask me if I wanted anything? Normally she would. Besides, the karaoke place doesn't allow any outside food or drink, so what does she even want to buy? None of these are significant enough on their own to warrant notice. Soda's so random I could probably just chalk this up to her acting on a whim, like she often does. That's the thing with her, she's like a wild card, you really never know. At least I don't. She's really good at fooling me, in case you haven't told. In case you haven't been able to tell. I can't even talk. But right now every little thing puts me on edge. I'm definitely being overprotective. Maybe Soda caught onto that, and that's part of why she wanted to go in alone. Trying to act natural while still being cautious, but still not going very well. Striking the right balance is hard. Soda pops out of the store while I'm sighing at how pathetic I am. She jogs over to me, a smile on her face.
お待たせしやした。
何も買わなかったのか？
うん、欲しいのなかった。
違うコンビニ行くか？
いい。もういい。
そっか。
行こう。
She takes my hand and starts walking. She doesn't feel like getting anything anymore. So even though she didn't buy anything, she's satisfied with whatever desire she had. You know what? I ought to just drop this. If I try to read into everything she says or does, I'll just spend the entire day brooding. I don't know. I feel like this one is a valid one, you know? Or maybe I'm being just like him too, because I don't want anything to happen to Sora either. Should just enjoy myself. That's why we're having this outing in the first place. Is that true? So we arrive at round 2. This place has everything. It's always packed after school, but at this hour the place is practically deserted. Still far from quiet, but the lack of customers gives the place a more relaxing feel than usual.
9時とか10時とかから開くイメージだったけど、こんな早くからやってるんだね。
不良だな。学校サボってラウンド2。
不良デビューだ。お父さん泣きそうだな。
黙ってりゃいいんだ。黙ってりゃ。
そうしよう。ねえねえ、ちょっと遊んでこうよ。映画までもうちょっと時間あるし。
先にカラオケだと思ってた。
時間に追われながら歌いたくないもん。
一理ある。遊んでくか。
よし、じゃあ別行動。
え？別？
Okay, now this is weird.
ゲームは一人でじっくり遊びたいじゃん。10分したらここに集合ね。
Solo dashes off to the arcade without waiting for my reply. First the convenience store, now this. For how happy she was to be going out together, she sure wants an awful lot of time alone. I guess in a way that's just like her, but I'm telling you, I fold my arms and think. If she wants to be left alone, I'm more than happy to do that. But to be honest, I'm not in the mood for arcade games. And well, it's not like I have a particularly bad feeling about this or anything. Still a little worried about leaving Sora alone. My instincts are warning me that I can't leave Sora's side, no matter for how short a time. I make my decision and walk into the arcade as well. Time to search for Sora. If she's absorbed in the game, then that's fine. I'll just keep an eye on her. If she complains about how I'm not playing anything, I'll just give her some excuse about how I don't want to waste my allowance, or how I have more fun watching than playing. Doesn't take me long to find her. She's playing the arcade version of one of those games where you control anthropomorphized battleships or planes or something. Anthropomorphized battleships or planes or something. She's completely focused on the cabinet, manipulating the touchscreen with a serious look on her face. Now that I think about it, she sure is into a lot of different genres. Intrigued, I walk over to get a closer look at the game. But halfway there I stop. For a second I completely forget what I was doing. I squeeze my eyes shut. Guys, is this a good time to be playing this? I already told you I had a bad day. If this ends super bad, oh no. That's how you make the day worse. Oh god. I squeeze my eyes shut and shake my head. I got goosebumps. When I opened my eyes again, Soda's standing there just like before. I lost sight of her. I was looking at her the whole time. She was right there in front of me. But there was a moment when I couldn't see Soda. Oh, Christ. I'm shocked. Nausea wells up within me and I feel the blood draining from my face. I reflexively cover my mouth and take a few steps back. Soda's symptoms are worsening. She's not maintaining her current level of non-existence. The erosion of her stigma is progressing. I swore I'd never forget her, but just now, for the briefest of instants, I forgot about Soda. A wave of dread washes over me. I can't leave Soda alone. No, that's not strong enough. I have to stay by her side at all times.
ソラ
When I call out to her, Soda looks away from the screen and gets up from the arcade stool.
あれいいのかまだ終わってないだろ
なんか思ったのと違った。
そっか
それにお兄ちゃんが寂しそうにしてるし。
してねえよ
ずっとこっち見てたじゃん、寂しそうに。
気づいてたのかよいや見てたけどさ
続きやっていいよ、気になるなら。
いやいいよそこまでじゃない
じゃ映画館行こっか。
ああ
やばい、平日満喫してる。罪悪感パネーゼ。
何の映画
聞くの遅え。アニマルトピア。
あれかCG の
そうだけど、おじいちゃんみたいな表現やめてよね。んで、お昼食べた後にルナフォーマーズ。
Lunaformers. Interesting.
2本立てかよっていうかなんでそれ選んだんだよネットで評判見たぞ
逆に見たくなった。ならない？
わかるけどさ順番逆にできない先にルナフォーマーズ見ようぜ
上映スケジュール的にこれがベストなの。ほら、行くよ。
Soda takes my hand and we head to the movie theater. There's a smile on her face and a spring in her step. I don't want to bring her down, so I put a lid on the fear bubbling up within me and try to act normal. I can feel Soda's presence in the hand I'm holding. Something tells me she's aware, that he knows, that he saw. What I've realized is that she's very observant, even if she doesn't say things right away. She's right here. Even if it starts to bother her, I won't let go. I'll hold on to this hand forever. I swear it, he says. Yeah, I'm not liking this. It's not gonna end well. Ain't no way. And then they're gonna hit us with that BS of, it's another branch, it's another timeline. It's okay, look, Soda's here in this timeline. And I'm gonna be like, I don't care. After watching both movies and singing our hearts out at karaoke, we headed back home. We really lived it up today. Soda looks like she had a lot of fun. I know I did. However, after spending the whole day with Soda, I picked up on something. She tried to hide it, but I could tell. I know I'm not just overthinking things now. Soda's powers are out of control. Slowly but surely, they're eating away at her. Her symptoms are worsening even faster than I expected.
ソラ
She replies casually, her eyes glued to the manga she's reading on my bed. I spent ages figuring out how to broach the topic, but all my thoughts fly out the window the moment I say her name. I end up burying my feelings.
俺はそんなに頼りないか
え？
話してくれ我慢してることいっぱいあるだろ
Yep, finally addressing the elephant in the room. You know, I'm the type of person that does not like not addressing the elephant in the room. Like, it just bothers me so much. The elephant to me is like worth 10. Especially when I know there's something up and it's not being addressed. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna enjoy literally anything if this is not addressed. It needs to be addressed. It has to be something that was definitely developed from childhood, because there has to be moments where You do address the elephant, but sometimes there's times where it's not appropriate to do so. But my urgency, my anxiety or whatever is like, no, but we have to fix it now. Sora closes her manga and turns to face me. She conjures up a stiff smile, but it crumbles instantly. She can tell from her expression that there's no fooling me. For a moment, she looks like she might cry, but she pushes the tears back down. And then she forces out another smile.
ねえ、スマホ取って。
ああ
I pick Sora's phone up off the table and hand it to her. She pushes the power button. What? She pushes the power button to bring up the lock screen and shows it to me.
理屈とかはわからないけど、こういうスイッチとかは問題ないんだよね。押せばちゃんと反応してくれる。
She taps the screen, types in her password. However, there's no change on the screen.
ね、反応してくれない。
故障じゃないのか。
I know that's not the problem, but I can't stop myself from asking. Sora just shakes her head.
ゲームでも確認してみた。ほら、こういうのって指以外で触っても反応してくれなかったりするじゃん。機械が私を認識できなくなってるのかもね。触っても何も反応してくれない。周りの人ももう私に気がつかない。昨日まではギリギリ認識はしてもらえてたのにね。存在感を常にゼロにされちゃってる感じ。声をかけてももう気づいてもらえない。
Please excuse the background noises.
コンビニで確認してたの。
レジの前に立ってもすいませんって声をかけても返事してもらえなかった。お兄ちゃんも途中で気づいてたでしょ。私の影がすごく薄くなってるの。
ああ、昼に頼んだ料理。
だよね、気づくよね。自動ドアもお兄ちゃんと一緒じゃないと反応してくれなかったし。お兄ちゃん、私ごめん、なんでもない。弱音吐きそうになったけど。
いいんだぞ、言っても。
大丈夫。そりゃ悲しいけどさ、お父さんにお母さんにクラスの友達にみやこ先輩にはるか先輩に、あとゆうき先輩に、知っている人が私のことわからなくなるのも、機械すら私を無視するのも悲しいけどさ。でもお兄ちゃんがいるもん。お兄ちゃんがいてくれるから私は大丈夫。このままみんなから忘れられちゃってもお兄ちゃんがいれば私は幸せ。そんな顔しないでよね。嘘はついてないよ。お兄ちゃんがいれば私はいい。
あとちょっとの我慢だ。薬さえできればそれで治る。
Sora gives me a small nod, and she whispers something under breath. I heard it loud and clear, though. But I might not last that long. I had a feeling she'd say that. Pain lances through my chest and my face twists in anguish. I mean, look how much more it's progressed in one day. Literally in the last episode, in the end of the last episode, they were just talking about how in 3 days, da-da-da-da-da-da. And now, from one day in the arcade and movies, she's this bad already? And nothing's even happened? Like, literally, she hasn't seemed... Or, there were moments where she was like, ouch, right? But, like, there wasn't anything huge that happened for her to... Or you would think, right? I would have thought that something big was going to happen and then that it would speed it up, the process of her disappearing as well. But... literally, it's been pretty calm and normal, except the truancy part, the school skipping, but like, it's been pretty normal, and look how much it progressed already. What the freak? Sora hurriedly puts on a smile.
先にお風呂入るね。
ああ、
一緒に入る？
一人でゆっくり使ってこい。
ちー？
Sora gives me a look of mock disappointment before sliding off my bed. She grabs her towel and pajamas and heads to the bathroom. She's vanishing from everyone's memories. Not even machines register her existence anymore. Could anything possibly be more isolating? In a way, that's the same as dying. But as long as I'm here, Sora can smile. And yet, I'm so worried. I'm terrified I might not end up being able to keep my promise to her, and the thought sends chills down my spine. Sora's out of control powers have even started taking their toll on me. My symptoms are just in their earliest phase, so I should be fine for a while longer. But if Sora realizes, if she figures out that my memories of her are growing dimmer, and that I'm losing track of her presence at times. Wait, what if she's already realized? I'm telling you, bro, she's observant. I wouldn't be surprised if she already knows. I feel like she's putting up a front. I'm calling it now. I might have started spacing out without even realizing it, and Sora would have picked up on that. If I'm right about that, then maybe what Sora said is true. She might not last long enough to be cured. I have to do something. I need to make sure that even if I end up forgetting, Sora can still be saved. Huh. I wonder how that would work. Like, maybe it's possible he does forget, but maybe Sophie somehow maintains contact with Sora somehow, and then she gets the medicine, and then suddenly Sora, then randomly Sora goes up to Kakeru while he already forgot about her, and then reminds him of her. I don't know. A quality call out to her. Just like she promised the last time I saw her, Sophie appears immediately. I think my head and mumble softly almost to myself.
時間がない。
あと2日待って。
2日も。
なんとか持たせて。こっちもギリギリなのよ。
Sophie, I am so sorry for being mean to you. I owe an apology.
一つだけ。
ええ。
もし俺が空のことを忘れてしまったら、ソフィーが薬を空に飲ませてやってくれないか。俺にも症状が出始めた。ソフィーなら対抗力ってやつ俺よりも高いんだろ。
Please say yes, please say yes.
だから頼む。もしもの時は空を頼む。
約束はできない。
どうして？
私は観測者。私の記憶は空の力でも消えない。けれど、空自身が消えてしまったらどうにもならないわ。
空が？
あのゴーストってこと同じ。行き着く先は存在の消滅。そうなってしまったらさすがに私でも無理よ。だから約束はできない。
そうか。
Well, I appreciate your honesty.
いや、悪い。弱気になるべきじゃなかった。俺が踏ん張ればそれで済む話だよな。
弱気じゃなくて慎重なだけでしょ。最悪のケースを想定するのは当然。ただ、あなた少し参っているわね。悲観的かつ自虐的になっている。一番辛いのは空なんだから、あなたは兄らしくしっかりなさい。
そうだな。ありがとう。
まったく柄じゃないわね、こんなお説教。とにかくあと2日間なんとか持たせなさい。
ああ、やってみせる。
その意気よ。
That dang plushie. Sophie gives me a kind smile before disappearing through her portal. 2 more days. If I can stay strong for 2 more days, Sora will be saved. How much longer until Sora reaches her absolute limit? No, don't think about it. It doesn't matter.
お兄ちゃん、大変だ。シャンプーがない。
Well, she totally could scream, I guess. Now.
待ってろ。
I get up and leave the living room. Pull a spare bottle of shampoo from the cupboard underneath the sink and set it outside the bathroom door.
ここ置いたぞ。
ありがと
Why her face show up like that? Y'all see this? What the? I wonder if that was a glitch. That's Soda's voice. She's still here. Still right here. Just have to spend the next 2 days like I did this one. That's all. Yep, that's all. Surely nothing will happen. Nothing bad will happen. I may be acting a bit pessimistic, but I dare say I can't be blamed too much for that, because when I am not on guard, those moments hit way harder, and it hurts a lot. Even though we're both skipping school again, we wake up at the usual time in the morning. But since there's no need to rush, we take our time with breakfast. Halfway through my toast, I put my food down and pick up my phone. Now is a good time to call. How many days in a row will this make? Getting kind of hard to keep up the I've got a cold act, but it's too late to change my story now.
お母さん、
ああ、欠席の連絡。
オレオレ詐欺ネタ毎回やるでしょ。
しつこいよな。オレオレ詐欺自体も話題になったのかなり前だろ。
That makes it even better.
飽きるまで続けるからね、お母さん。
先手を打って名前言うと拗ねるしな。今回も付き合うしかないな。
Grumbling, I press the call button. After 5 or 6 rings, Mom finally picks up.
はい、もしもし。
もしもし、俺だけど。
はい。
かけるです。
どなたですか？
だからかけるだってば。悪いけど今日も。
間違い電話じゃありませんか？
I don't think she's joking this time.
いや、だから。今回しつこいな。間違えてないよ。オレオレ詐欺じゃないから。かけるです。あなたの息子の。
はい。
息子です、息子。
うちに息子なんていませんが。
は？
She hung up on me. I thought she was just pushing the joke too far. I kept expecting her to laugh and say, "How'd you like my acting this time?" But she wasn't. She sounded legitimately annoyed, and moreover, she didn't remember me. Don't tell me. I'm starting to disappear as well? Is Sora erasing me with her?
お兄ちゃん。
I mean, at least you'll be together forever? Soda's voice snaps me out of my reverie. She's looking intently at her right hand.
おい、そら。
どうしよう。お兄ちゃん。
Tears are forming in her eyes. Looking down, I see that her right hand has turned slightly translucent. In fact, as the second ticks away, I watch as the view of the room through her hands become ever more clear. She's vanishing before my eyes. Even the toast pinched between her fingers is turning transparent. Whether from sheer surprise or because her strength is fading, the toast slips from her fingers. But even after she lets go of it, the toast remains translucent. Soda's powers are going haywire. Everything she touches, everything she wears, everything in her general vicinity is being erased.
どうしよう。私。
そら！
I run to her side. I clasp her fading hand between both of mine and squeeze tight.
消えちゃう。消えちゃうよ、お兄ちゃん。
大丈夫、大丈夫だ。気をしっかり持て。消えてたまるかって強く思うんだ。でも。いいか。俺を見ろ。そら、俺を見ろ。
She looks up at me, face full of hesitation and doubt. Dang, now all of her is turning invisible.
そら、俺が見えるか。俺がお前の手を握ってるの、わかるか。俺もわかるぞ。空の手をしっかりと握っている。俺の手の中に空の手を感じる。いいか。お前はここにいる。消えちゃいない。このまま消えることもない。
私。でも。
大丈夫だ。俺がしっかりと捕まえてる。だから消えない。俺がついてる。お兄ちゃんがついてるぞ。
お兄ちゃん。お兄ちゃん。
I take one hand away and throw it around her, pulling her close to me. She grips my shirt with her other hand. I lean into her ear and whisper over and over that she'll be okay. I'm beyond desperate right now. Fortunately, my desperation manages to serve as Soda's lifeline. Little by little, Soda's breathing calms down. Her fading outline solidifies once more. Crisis averted, I think. She's still with me for now. What caused that sudden change? Why did her symptoms worsen so drastically just now? I frantically cast about for an explanation. I kinda like how... Well, I don't like anything about this, I should say, first of all. But, like, we're seeing her disappear, right? But I feel like you can also... What happened with her, like, panicking and stuff, it kind of reminded me of, like, anxiety. As an anxious person myself, we have moments like that. And you just need someone to help ground. And that's exactly what happened, which is why she didn't disappear. I like that. However, regardless of what caused it, she's better now. Nonetheless, Soda's clearly at her limit. We have even less time than I thought. As long as I keep encouraging Soda like that, I want to believe that I can buy us more time. I guess what I was trying to get at is, I feel like this is a great way of putting it, of how it is to have someone in your life that is mentally unwell. I want to say that carefully because it doesn't all look the same. But what it does have in common is it's very difficult to support as someone that struggles himself with mental stuff. Being patient with them, letting them know you're there. Doesn't seem like it would do much, but it really does. And it takes a special kind of soul to be able to support that because it's not easy. I mean, there are days where I'm like, I can barely tolerate myself. And that says a lot because if I can barely tolerate myself, I can't possibly expect someone else to tolerate me too, right? In moments of crisis like that. But maybe there are people out there that are understanding and can help you ground again. How did it get so deep? I don't know. I apologize. You never really know what you're gonna get on this channel. It'd be really unserious at times and then suddenly it's philosophical or deep or just very real life stuff, you know? Yeah. But I guess that's why you're here. I mean, you made it this far, so I want to think that's why, or part of it. I have to keep supporting her for as long as it takes. Meaning, I have to keep smiling. I have to be the strong older brother she can rely on.
頑張ったな、空。
I gently stroke her hair. Sora presses her forehead against mine and murmurs.
ごめんなさい。
何がごめんなさいかはわからないが、二度と謝ったりするなよ。空は俺の命の恩人だからな。今度は俺が助ける番だ。いや、違うな。兄貴だからな。妹を助けるのに理由なんか必要ない。いつも一緒だ。大丈夫。俺がついてる。
I pat her back. Sora clings to me for a while longer. After a few minutes, she finally rubs her eyes and breaks away.
ごめん。ありがとう。
食べよう。
Sora nods, and after a moment of hesitation, I return to my seat. I feel like there's more I should have said to her. Are you alright? How are you feeling? Either would be a stupid question. She's obviously not alright. What more can I say? Sora picks up the piece of toast she dropped, but instead of eating it, she just puts it back on her plate. The toast, too, has gone back to normal. It's no longer transparent. Maybe Sora doesn't want to eat something she nearly made disappear.
新しいのを焼いてくるか。
That sucks.
いらない。もういい。
そうか。
It's getting harder and harder to think of something to say. I watch Sora drink her glass of milk while I finish up my own piece of toast. While I'm chewing, I think. When it started, I was too panicked to think straight. But now that I'm reflecting on it, there can only be one reason Sora's condition worsened. She must have overheard my phone call. She knows what Mom said to me. She's in shock because she figured out what her powers are affecting me as well. What? Her powers are affecting me as well. Did I add a word? I feel like I did. And thus the abilities that she was just barely keeping in check suddenly went wild. I was careless. I can't help but beat myself up over my lack of foresight. If only I wasn't so dang dumb. Should have realized how Up until yesterday, Kujo texted me after school every day to check on me. And then yesterday, she didn't. Should have paid more attention to that anomaly. And then maybe I would have realized sooner Soda's powers were affecting me. Maybe I should have avoided calling mom in front of Soda, just in case. Still, it's no use crying over spilled milk. Popped the last bit of toast into my mouth and crunched down on it hard, venting my frustrations on the hapeless piece of bread before washing down the crumbs with a gulp of milk.
本当にもういいのか?
After a few seconds of silence, Soda nods.
そうか.
I stack up our plates and take them to the kitchen. I put them in the sink and hurry back to the living room. Soda's staring at the floor vacantly, not moving a muscle. She was moments away from disappearing for good. Can't imagine how traumatizing an experience that must have been. But she survived it. She's still hanging in there, even now. I'm sure she can make it another day or two. Somehow.
今日もどっか出かけるか? まだ見たい映画とかあるか? またカラオケ行くのもいいな。歌い足りないって言ってただろ? さすがに2日連続は疲れるか。今日は家でゆっくりするのもいいな。
お兄ちゃん。
Soda finally speaks, but it's not to answer my question. She picks up her phone, puts it down on the table, and pushes it towards me.
操作してもらってもいい?
ああ、いいよ。
Nodding, I reach for her phone. I know why she's asking. I don't know Soda's password, but I doubt I'll need to ask. Press the power button and tap the touchscreen. No matter where I touch, there's no response. So it's happening to me too now. Funny, just a few minutes ago I was fine. That scare must have pushed Soda's power to start affecting me more strongly.
ごめんね。
She whispers. She looks even more upset than she did when she was about to disappear.
私がお兄ちゃんだけいればいいって思っちゃったからだ。お兄ちゃんさえいてくれればってそう思っちゃったから。私お兄ちゃんを巻き添えにしちゃってる。
巻き添えなんてそんな言い方はよせ。多分空の負担を肩代わりしているんだ。きっとそういうことだ。もしかしたら俺のアーティファクトはそういう力なのかもな。お前の助けになれて俺は嬉しいよ。
Try my best to encourage Soda, but needless to say, she doesn't buy my pathetic excuse. Soda hangs her head in despair.
お兄ちゃんを巻き込んじゃう前に
Uh-oh.
私消えた方が。
空!
I cry out, and I lean forward and take her by the shoulders. She watches me impassively. When did the spark go out of her eyes?
二度と言うな。
でもこのままじゃお兄ちゃんも消えちゃうから。
消えない。さっきも言ったろ。消えるもんかって強く思えば大丈夫だ。さっきも大丈夫だったろ。
でもわかるんだ。もう無理だよお兄ちゃん。私もう。
無理なんて言うな。無理じゃない。
But no matter what I say, Soda remains listless. It's like she's given up on everything. There's no emotion in her voice anymore. Sophie's words echo in my mind. Same. She gave in. Her spirit is broken. I swore I'd save her. I swore I wouldn't let this happen, but in spite of everything, Soda's starting to wish for her own disappearance. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
どうすれば元気になってくれる？どうすればまた笑ってくれる？言ってくれ。どうすればいい？空は俺にどうしてほしい？お前が元気になってくれるなら、笑ってくれるなら、俺は何だってしてやるから。
何でも。
I guess, yeah. Finally, Soda shows a little emotion. Yay, that's good, that's good. You know what, just do it. I can't let this chance slip past me. I need to fan the flame of her spirit back to life.
ああ、 何でもだ、何でも。食べたいものがあれば買ってきてやるし、行きたいところがあれば連れてってやる。何でも言え、してほしいこと何でも全部叶えてやるから。
じゃあ
ああ、
お兄ちゃんの恋人にしてほしい。
は
Came from nowhere, and I said the one thing I shouldn't have. I can tell from the look on her face that this is no joke. A pall of anxiety hangs over it, but a tiny ember of hope glimmers in the depths of Soda's vacant eyes. Seeing me at a loss for words, she smiles. Soda calmly meets my gaze.
ずっとね、お兄ちゃんのことが好きだった。小さい頃から、物心ついた頃から好きだった。
Let's see. There is a question. Like, I don't want to like make this a whole very, very long bit. Like, I already am. It's a bit already because I'm like, I'm being extra and making faces or whatever, you know, whatever. I didn't think this was gonna happen. But anyway, she says, as long as I can remember, I've been in love with you. So all this time, she was not joking. Those jokes had some truth.
絶対に言わないつもりだったけど、ずっと隠してきたけど、
Dang.
もういいよね。私が消えたらこの告白もお兄ちゃんは忘れちゃうから。
Dang. Well, I don't like that.
だからいいよね。消える前に最後に思い出をもらっても。私お兄ちゃんが好き。ずっと好きだった。だから私を好きじゃなくてもいいから、私を恋人にしてください。
Soda, I love you. But no. I'm pinned to the spot, unable to look away from her. I'm so flustered I want to run away. But I can't because this is a choice. A choice I can't afford to get wrong. Because if I do, Soda will disappear. Hey. It's just to buy her time, right? It's just to buy her time. It's just to buy her time.
お兄ちゃん。
Oh, Soda. And so I make my decision. You sons of bitch! No! God, I hate you guys. I hate
セ
you.
ーブ画面だ
I
よ。
don't actually hate
セ
you
ーブする
guys.
よ。
I
セーブ
really
したよ。
appreciate you guys, but I'm totally gonna save you. No! I don't want to make the choice. Because it feels like it's, well, this is probably exactly what's happening. It's morals versus wanting to see a character that you like die. You know what I mean? Because morals as in, you know, this is incestuous as F. Like, ew, what the fuck? But like, it's also like saying no means bye-bye Soda, and we love Soda, right? God dang it. I'm going with accept Soda's feelings. Mm.
わかった。お前の気持ち嬉しいよ。
Bro.
じゃあ
No, she's messing with him.
俺たち今から恋人だ。
A smile steals across her face. A smile full of warmth and reassurance, and above all, happiness. She lets out a long drawn-out sigh. And then, without a word, Oh no. Oh no. It's obvious at a glance what she's waiting for. One of these? But even knowing you know what would be crazy if they made me do the choice too for this? Right? Hopefully not, right? I can't help but hesitate. I told Soda I'd do anything for her sake. I was so desperate to please her that I even agreed to be her boyfriend. The fact remains, we're siblings. This commitment beyond mere words, truly becoming lovers. It would be wrong to bridge too far. However, I have no choice but to cross it. If I don't, Soda will realize I don't have the guts to keep my promise to her. I'll be letting her down. And bye-bye, Soda. If I refuse to cross this line with her, then I'm certain she'll. Growing impatient, Soda opens her eyes again. Crap, I waited too long. Soda must have realized I'm hesitating. Honestly, I can't blame her if she decided to just give up here and now. But she gives me one more chance.
その体勢だと辛そうだね。
There's no not awkward position, Soda. Another heartbreaking smile. Got one knee on the table and both hands on her shoulders. She's not wrong. This is a pretty uncomfortable position to share a kiss. I'm gonna say it again. There's no comfortable position for your sis, for your sibling. This is now the Alabama route, guys. Soda gently takes my hand off her shoulders and gets to her feet. Standing, she looks down at me and waits. She just stands there silently, waiting for me to join her and take her in my arms. I've got to steel my resolve. I've made my choice. Now I have to own up to the consequences, for Soda's sake.
ムードは作ってやれねえけど。
セーブ画面だよ。セーブするよ。
Guys.
セーブしたよ。
What if I'm supposed to, obviously reject her because obviously that's gonna give us the bad end, right? We could do that later. You guys could tell me after I upload this because I was thinking of, because I'm running out of time. I was thinking of doing the, I should go back to do the bad, the rejector, and then maybe she'll disappear. This is my prediction anyway. She'll disappear, bad end, blah, blah, blah. Then we go back. But I wouldn't know. Well, I am anticipating that, but who's to say that actually happens, Either way, at the end of the episode, we'll go back and do it. Doesn't matter, I guess. But I don't want her to disappear. Try to sound lighthearted as I get to my feet. Circle around the table and stop in front of Soda. She closes her eyes again. The only silver lining of that move is that she can't see how stiff and nervous I look. Was this really the right decision? Morally, no. But then, would you let your sister disappear? Trying to shake off my doubts, I put my hand on Soda's slender shoulder. Thank God she's not my sister. Thank God this is a visual novel. And then, she's like, just kidding. I leaned in, closing the distance to her waiting lips. She has to be capping. She has to be capping. She has to be capping. Oh my God. Oh. Finally, our lips touch. It's no mere brush of the lips, but hard, heated, not hearted, heated. A lover's kiss, which I guess is what we are. Guys, I've never been more uncomfortable in my life. I thought the cousin route in Senden Banka was bad. This is like... Dang. It's crazy. So it opens her mouth slightly and sighs, licking my lips. Feel her saliva coating them. Nice. Until she's waiting for me to take the next step. But that's beyond me. I don't have the courage to press my tongue into her mouth just yet. So it sees through my hesitation. And so she gives me a little shove. Tense as I am, I stumble backward. Soda gives me an uncharacteristically earnest look. She licks her lips and smiles. Honestly, I know it's probably designed to make you uncomfortable or whatever, but I feel like thanks to this, and yes, but do it for the memes or whatever. Did I say that right? Am I coming across how I want to come across? I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is do the necessary bad to get a good end. Yeah. So I'm trying to separate that, her incestuous side to her overall personality, but it's just a little hard, I don't know what to say. I'm like at a loss of words right now.
ありがとう。
Now she begins taking shuffling steps backwards, slowly inching away from me. Until she reaches the bed, she collapses onto it and rolls over.
疲れたから寝るね。
あ
おやすみ、お兄ちゃん。
Sora pulls the covers up and turns her back to me. Relief washes over me and I collapse in a heap on the ground. You need to get rid of the soundtrack. No, this isn't that soundtrack, you know? It's not this feeling that it's supposed to give off. Like, no! No! Did I do it? Can I keep her grounded this way? Did I really manage to save her from despair? And then later she's gonna be asking to do the freaky stuff and then... Oh, no. Please, no. Will this make her stop wanting to disappear? I want to believe I made the right choice. Hopefully when she's cured, all of this goes away. Hopefully. This isn't actually her. This is just whatever is happening with her power. Right, guys? Right? 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 Soda's faint, regular breathing reaches my ears. She must really have been tired if she fell asleep already. If it appears to be the noon, why is she asleep? I involuntarily put a finger to my lips. When we kissed, my heart definitely skipped a beat. Oh, you too? It was a small thing, but I could feel it. A little thrill, even if it was I was kissing. That realization confuses me. Good. This is something I'm doing for Sora. This is my duty. At least that's what I keep telling myself, trying to drown out my lingering guilt. Yeah, I bet. Wow. Well, what a way to end the episode. I'm gonna pause it right here. Around here. Sora's been asleep since the afternoon. As she slept, her stigma would occasionally rise to the surface of her skin like a pattern of translucent veins. Come to think of it, she's technically been using her powers constantly, hasn't she? Though she hasn't shown it, the exhaustion from doing so must be immense. No wonder she's sleeping so much. It really is like an illness, oh my god. Stayed by her side this whole time, worried she might disappear at any moment. Or what I called a while ago, like a moment of anxiety or whatever, a crisis. I mean, if it weren't for the power aspect, like it would look like someone's having an anxiety attack or an episode of some kind, right? In fact, I haven't even gotten up to eat anything. While I watched over her, she slept. A lot of memories, both old and new, resurfaced. It made it appear that Sora's confession was about as sudden as they get, but it wasn't entirely unexpected. What do you mean? For a long time now, I vaguely suspected she was harboring feelings for me. Oh, so this isn't a power thing. This is like she's genuinely wired like that. Like something is like not okay in her brain. Like she needs help. And I mean it in a very trying to non-judgmental way. Like she needs help. You know what? I'm curious now, actually. Like for people that experience that, what do you do? Like genuinely, what do you do? Obviously, aside from the fact that you shouldn't or that you don't hopefully give in to those desires. What can you actually do to wire your brain to not do that? You know, like, I am very curious on the psychology, the science behind that. That's very interesting. Should I search it up? At least one of you guys got to be curious too, no? I mean, it can't just be me, right? Like, what kind of help do you need? Sibling relationships are often overlooked as a source for adults. Romantic relationship difficulty? What? Conflict management and resolution skills are typically learned when a sibling and repeated with others. Clinical work with adults. That's not what I'm gonna ask ChatGPT later. Anyone ever looks at my search history, it's gonna be very hard to explain. Well, some people are like, gross. And like, yeah, I get that reaction, right? But also, I wouldn't understand, like, yes, it is concerning. Yes, it does provoke a feeling of, ew, what? But also, like, I don't think it's their fault, right? Right? It can't be their fault, right? I feel weird for asking these questions, but genuinely, I'm like very, very curious. But anyway, when we were kids, Sora never hesitated to tell me how much she loved me. Even as she grew older and became a little less vocal about her affection, it was still clear she was attached to me. But it was only a few moments before I started living alone that I began to suspect her feelings for me went past familial love. One day I found a photo album on Sora's desk. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have flipped through it without permission, but at the time I thought it was just a family album. I wanted to reminisce about old times, so I opened it without thinking. After all, Sora had been taking pictures on all of our family trips. She'd even made me come with her to get them all developed, and it was suspected it was more than a record of happy family memories. How wrong I was. The album was filled with pictures of me. Every last one of them a picture of me alone, or with Sora. Some I remember her taking, others she'd definitely taken without my knowledge. Many were family pictures, but our parents cropped out, often zoomed in on me. And that album, Sora, had preserved only her memories of me. Or maybe a lack of boundaries as children also definitely had something to do with the way she turned out to be in this, in this, what's the word? God, too many things going on in my head at once. In this case, in this subject, in this topic, in this whatever, you fill in the blank. And though I felt guilty at the thought, the sight of it sent a wave of nausea through me. I certainly love Sora, but as family, as my sister. And once I saw that album, I began to suspect that the love Sora felt for me was not the same as mine for her. The obsession was abnormal and unhealthy. It was wrong. I bet she knew that too. And that was why ever since she hit puberty, she started burying her feelings. She stopped telling me she loved me. Makes sense. But while on the surface she acted like an ordinary sister, her hidden feelings didn't go away. I'm sure Sora never meant for anyone to find that album. She certainly hadn't intended for me to see it. And frankly, it was my mistake as well, opening it without permission. After I saw what was inside though, I decided it would be best to pretend I hadn't and say nothing at all to Sora. So that's what I did. Oh. But from that day on, I grew wary of her. I know I'm biased since we're family, but I really do think Sora is cute. From what I've heard, she gets asked out all the time. However, she's turned down every one of her would-be boyfriends. Once I asked her why she never dated anyone. This was what she told me.
だって理想の人がいるもん。
Oh, that sucks. At the time, I just shrugged those words off. That was before I saw her album. Once I did, I began to wonder, what if the person she likes is me? What if that stops her from ever going out with any other guy? Personally, I thought that was both unhealthy and unnatural. Not a good situation at all. I thought to myself, maybe it was just misunderstanding. If so, great. But if not, if the reason Sora had asked for her own room was to protect a secret of hers, then this was a real problem. She was worried about me seeing her album and what it implied, then that meant I should put some distance between us. So when my father asked if I had any interest in living on my own, I said yes without a second thought. Wait. Oh, so he chose to live alone all this time because of this suspicion, because he was trying to do the healthy thing of putting distance so his sister could get over this? Oh my god. Wow. Look, at the beginning of this game, I never would have thought, oh, it's because his sister like developed these feelings. I'm trying not to judge her too hard, but I also want to, like, of course, a normal person, a typical, I don't want to say normal, a typical person would be like, oh, what the fuck? And of course, that was my reaction, right? But I am very much trying to not be judgmental and try to understand, not that there's anything to be okay with here, but to see where she's coming from, why this happened, and blah, 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 if that makes sense. I hope this makes sense. Otherwise, oh God, oh God. I'm sure some of you get it, right? What I'm trying to say here. But back to the living situation. I never would have thought it was because of this. That's actually crazy. And yeah, I understand him not wanting to bring it up, because imagine it was just her deep admiration for her Oni-chan, and then he looks like the weirdo. I think any dude or sis would have been like, yeah, I'm gonna not say anything yet, because I'm about to look weird AF. And that's why I moved out of the house. That's crazy. A year passed. I thought that if I spent less time with Sora, her taboo feelings would fade. But they didn't. Sora's love for me only continued to grow. She just kept it hidden. The only reason she revealed it to me now is because of her illness. Dang. As the stigma's erosion progresses, the artifact's user becomes unable to contain their desires. That's what Sophie said. If that's true, it means Sora just became unable to keep her feelings hidden any longer. That means she's almost at her limit. She's teetering on the brink of disappearing. What choice did I have to buy? Wait, no. Not buy. What choice did I have but to cave into her feelings? What choice did I have but to kiss her? If I hadn't, Sora would have. I get it, Brody. I hear you. I'm just glad, I'm really relieved to hear that it didn't develop on your end as well. Sora tosses and turns in her sleep. She still hasn't woken up. I really have to end it here though, because night falls and Sora is still asleep. She slept the whole day away now. Kujo hasn't messaged me even once in that time. Though even if she did message, it's not like I could use my phone right now, so I wouldn't be able to reply. This gives so much more weight too to the whole Kujo episode. Like the times that she'd call him the B word because she would hang out with him, or he would be with her, or because he wanted to, or when he'd get excited about other girls having interest in him. It just, oh my god. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt that, you know, maybe that's just how wild she is, you know, but I knew, I knew, like those jokes are too far. I think anybody, any typical person would agree that that's too far, but I still wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, you know, maybe that's just how she jokes. I don't know, but now that you know for sure that was for real, it gives it so much more weight. Like, bro, all those times that she was tripping about him and other girls, well, it makes a whole lot more sense now. She was jealous, very jealous, and for the very not right reasons. And though even if she did message, it's not like I could use my phone right now, so I wouldn't be able to reply. I bet everyone's forgotten about us already. Maybe the truth is we've both disappeared and I just haven't realized it. Maybe we're the only two people who can see each other now. The fear that that's already happened starts to grow within me. But I know we still haven't disappeared. Soda's still here, she's still alive. I'm worried that she's been sleeping for too long, but at least in her dreams she won't be dwelling under despair. Maybe it's even for the best that she sleeps as much as she can. I agree. The day's almost over. Shouldn't be long now until Sophie completes the medicine that can cure her. I'm planning on staying awake until she finally does show up. I have no idea how long it might take, but I'm not sleeping. That said, I should probably at least turn off the lights, so Sora can sleep soundly. Seriously, I should have done that an hour ago. I can't believe I'm so thoughtless. I get up and flip the switch. A moment later, Sora stirs. Yes. Good night. Not sleeping with her. Not in this episode anyway. Or video. He's definitely gonna sleep with her. And probably in both meanings too. Not just, but in the, you know, getting freaky. Oh god, no, please, no. Sora, please, just keep it kissing, okay? It's the least worst of the poison. It's the least. I can't even talk, dude. Long day. I'm telling you, long day. But I gotta end the video here. I'm changing the subject. Gotta end the video here. It's an hour and 18. Otherwise, I won't be able to get it up today. And I still don't know if I'll be able to get it up today. But hey, I'll do my very, very best. Otherwise, you'll just see a community post saying that I'm tired, something happened, or blah, 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 blah. Not that I make it up, but, you know, you'll see something is what I'm trying to say. I don't like leaving people in the dark. I try not to. But anyway, this was a crazy episode, to say the least. The craziest episode, to say the least. Yeah, this is tricky. This is very, very tricky. But I mean, look, I'm gonna go back, right? Get that bad end. I'm assuming it's the bad end for this episode. I'm assuming every episode's gonna have a bad end. But obviously I'm gonna save Sora. Obviously. And of course, I ain't with this. And I'm glad Kakeru ain't either. I was worried about him for a sec too. I was like, bro, Chacho, what do you good there? But anyway, thank you for watching. Crazy episode, to say the least. But thank you for watching. A tad bit disturbed, just a tad bit. I feel like I've seen a lot of things, but hold on, that sounded terrible. That's not what I meant. I guess what I meant to say is I'm not too surprised. You know, the jokes were kind of a hint. The jealousy I could understand more. You know, people, even siblings get jealous. I've heard of cases like that. I don't know if it's because of the same reasons, but I feel like that's a little more common, therefore a little more understandable, normal. I don't know, honestly. But because it's more common, because I've heard of cases like that, I'm like, okay, all right, fine. But like, the whole, you know, where was I going with this? I don't even remember. I lost my train of thought. My brain is all over the place. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I guess what I was just trying to say is I've heard cases of siblings getting jealous of siblings when they get in other relationships, reasons being that the attention doesn't go to the sibling anymore, it goes to someone else. Okay, fine. But like, the jokes, I think the jokes, especially at that age, their age, I'm like, okay, raise his eyebrow, like, huh? That's where I was like, because see, if it was just a jealousy, I would have been like, alright, you know, I. But the jokes, I feel like that was a pretty big sign. Therefore, I'm not that surprised. I am, and I'm not. If anything, it's just more shocked and a bit disturbed, but not that surprised. But anyway, you probably aren't surprised either. Or maybe you are. I don't know. But anyway, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and hit the like if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't, or consider at least doing so. I would really appreciate that. And with that being said, I'll let y'all go. Once again, crazy episode, am I right? crazy episode. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, y'all stay safe, and until next time. I feel a little better after playing this. I'm not gonna lie. It was a tough day, but I made it. I recorded. We're all here now together. Not too bad. Well, the episode was concerning, but you know, I feel better. I feel a little lighter,
セーブ画面だよ。
considering how sucky the day was. But hey, there's just tomorrow. Another day tomorrow. Okay, for real this time. Later.